Thanks to the support as a channel member, Adam Blamplate. No, I know I asked you for the extra money, but it was kind of tongue-in-cheek just for one of these intros. No, I didn't expect you to actually give it to me. That doesn't mean I want you to take it away. I'll try and spend it. Might have to wait until January, but you know me. It'll get spent. Hello and welcome to part 113 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first two games of the new Premier League season. We're at home against Tottenham and away against Everton. If you missed the transfer special yesterday, this is what happened. We didn't really sign anyone. Well, I say that. We signed probably the two most significant players in the club's history. We have our striker, Lalo Villalobos, not Villalobos. He told me it's Villalobos. Promise. Diego Perez, a right winger, came in as well. And we also brought in Zoran Djukic, who's going to be a backup right back for us this year, and Roland Gregoire, our new record signing in central midfield, who was 17 for most of the summer, but then had a birthday. Lots of fringe players left the club, all of which means we're left with £42 million still to spend. We do still have like 3 weeks of this transfer window, plus the next one, to spend it in. And next season, Mrs Wearmouth saying we're only going to have 12 million quid. So we need to spend this wisely over the next 6 months or so, because we might not get another big pile of spensies again anytime soon. But this is the first game back at the new home of football, our new 19,000 capacity home ground. And the other piece of news, which I mentioned in the transfer special and then never resolved, is the nationality status of Enes Alabasic. As you can see, he has now completed 1,827 days living in England, 2 days more than he needs to gain English nationality, and he is now awaiting paperwork to take an English or a British passport, which will then stop him from counting towards our foreign players when we get to the point where foreign players start to become a problem. Although I do wonder that because of the nature of the save, it might never actually be an issue, because although loads of them are foreign, most of them are under 21, so they don't have to be registered. So we've only actually currently got 5 foreign players being registered in the squad. We're going to have a constant flow of 18-year-olds coming into the club to keep younging that up a little bit. And then if they're any good, as soon as they hit 23, they'll have been here 5 years and can become English. So theoretically, the only foreign players we should have to register are the ones between 21 and 23 years old. And if we've got 17 foreign players between 21 and 23, I'd be surprised. I don't know how this will be differently impacted when it comes to European football. We'll let that be future Kev's problem. But for now, I think we're going to be good long-term in the Premier League, even if we never sign another English player. So this is our team for the first day of the new season, the home game against Tottenham. I'm not sure where Tottenham are supposed to finish or where we are, to be honest. I don't think we've looked at the Dream 11. We're still expected to be relegated, although for once we're not bottom or second bottom. We've now made it all the way up to third bottom, so still expected to be relegated, but could potentially finish above all of the newly promoted sides. Hooray! Tottenham are supposed to qualify for the Champions League, so really this should be a comfortable Tottenham win. But with our new boys in and the experience that we've put together over the last 3 years in the Premier League, top half finishes the last 2 years, I'd like to think we can surprise a few people today with our slightly new look side, which is almost certainly going to incorporate an inverted wing back all season long, because we don't really have a natural left back in the squad. So Abagai, Peresato, Fazikas can all play inverted wing back on this left-hand side. And then at right back, if Peresato is the one who moves over, we've got Gillespie, we've got Hippolyte, we have the new right back who came in the summer as well, who's down in the under-23s. We have right backs for days. So Peresato is probably just going to be that left back. But for now, it's Abagai, because that allows Jørn Andersen to start alongside Fazikas. So that's the next-gen award winner from a couple of years ago and last year's Premier League Young Player of the Year, along with an English wonder kid. This team is definitely taking shape. But of course, for today, all eyes are on this man, Lalo Villalobos up front, who's still continuing to get better and better, which is lovely stuff. He's now up to 17 on his finishing. He's a 4.5-star current ability player who's scored a goal every other game throughout his career at Chivas in Mexico. Nothing ever goes wrong at Chivas. So fingers crossed, we've got a star on our hands, and he announces himself on the Premier League today. So it's Williams in goal, a back four of Abagai, Anderson, Fazikas and Peresato. Passotti sat in front of the back four. Ali Basic in midfield where he belongs alongside Gregoire, and then Richardson and Oliveira are out wide with Villalobos up front. It does mean that as it currently stands, Kieran Hodgkinson is not in the first team. Now, obviously, he will find his way back in at some point, I'm sure. I'm not sure who for or when. But if Alex Williams loses his place in the team, I guess the only person he's likely to lose it to is Tristan McDonald. So I don't think we have too much to fear. But after all that talk over the years of trying to get an 11 of all academy boys, we've actually only got one academy boy in the first team starting the first day of the season, and that's Williams. We've got Hodgkinson and Curry down on the bench. Davies still a part of the squad. And of course, Tristan McDonald as well. And Chancel Bayer is an academy guy as well. But we're a little bit slim on academy guys at the moment, so we need some of them to start coming through, says the man who keeps spending all the money on all the Brazilian wonder kids and then wonders why his own academy players aren't breaking through into the first team. It's a complete mystery. Right, first day of the new season then. Let's go out there and do a football. That's what we're looking for here. Let's have a nice little look at the newly renovated new home of football as well. I assume all we spent last season doing was filling in the corners, because when this ground was initially built, I think the capacity was about 13,000, and we haven't filled in the corners. So we've left the corners empty and just put another tier on all the way around by the looks of it. This seems like there could have been a more efficient way to make this ground a little bit bigger. Why have we not just filled in the corners? Absolutely ridiculous. Right, it is Spurs who've got the ball at the moment, building from within their own half. I would very much like to get the ball off them like that and get it forward to Villalobos. That is going to be the tactic all season, really. Give it to him and hope he scores lots of goals. If he's a flop, I'm going to be devastated. It feels like he's finally arrived after 3 years of waiting. And if he turns out to not be any good, I'm going to be devastated. Spurs have grabbed an early goal. We're not going to look too hard at what Abagai's getting up to in this left-back role at the moment. He played there for probably half a dozen or so games last year. He's not done anything disastrous here. He's covering his man all the way. You could probably argue that Anderson, or is that Fazekas? Who's number 6? I think it's Fazekas, actually. Could probably do a little bit better with his man marking in the middle there. I don't think we're putting the fault on the left back on this occasion. And let's face it, your alternative would have been Andrew McCartan or Loy playing in that left back role. And I don't know that either of them do any better than Abagai just has. Richardson is in here, and Richardson grabs an immediate equaliser. Kenlyn Richardson was a little bit light on goals last year, if I recall. After exploding into the Premier League 3 years ago, he's kind of quietened down a little bit since then. It would be nice if this was the year that someone like him forced their way into the England squad. We've got that all-English left-hand side at the moment with Abagai and Richardson. Let's just build a partnership there and get those two boys in the England team. That would be some lovely progress to have our two English wonder kids graduate. Now they're both, they're both in their 20s now. It's time for them to both graduate into being England stars rather than just English wonder kids. But 1-1, 22 minutes gone. Good to see us make an immediate reply to that early Tottenham goal. And if we could get the ball to Villalobos, that'd be lovely. I mean, that's an immediate reply to our immediate reply. There's been 3 goals in 3 minutes in this match. If you just nip downstairs midway through the first half to see what the pie situation is like in the newly renovated stadium, then you've potentially missed all of today's action, unless they've got those telly screens under there. But I'll level with you. I've never been under the stands during the match because I like to, when I pay all that money to go to a football match, I like to watch all of the football. Do they show the match on the tellies down there? That seems counterproductive. People would just stay down there and drink if it was on the tellies down there, wouldn't they? Are people that mad? People are probably that mad. Right, it is Tottenham with the ball once again. A little bit of time now has passed since the little spurt of goals that we had, and it would be ideal time for us to grab our second equaliser of the game. Still been absolutely no sign whatsoever of the new boy up front. Williams making a stop that he probably didn't need to make there, because I think that was going to be given as offside. I am a little bit concerned that that Villalobos is going to be one of those players who's going to need to learn English before he's spectacular. And that would be very, very disappointing. We've had a lot of examples on FM21 of players whose attributes haven't looked great, who've massively overperformed them. I really don't want him to be the first player with incredible attributes who just doesn't live up to them, because that would be upsetting, to say the least. But here he is. Villalobos is in and very close to a goal on his debut. He needs to hit that a little bit harder. Give it some welly, son, for goodness sake. 2-1 to Spurs at half-time. I will do the We Are the Underdogs team talk because we are. We looked at the media Dream 11. That's not relevant. We looked at the media prediction before the match. We know Tottenham are supposed to be in the Champions League and we're supposed to be in the Championship. So to be only 2-1 down at half-time, theoretically, is quite good. Although we would like to not lose the game. That would be nice. Build a fortress here at the new home of football. Right, Oliveira's got the ball in midfield. He's come quite a way inside here from that right-wing position. We've got the overlap with Peresato. If someone decides they want to use him, Passotti has slotted in there to cover for him and then tried to pass the ball to himself where he should be standing. Obviously, there's nobody there, and Spurs are in again, and Spurs have their third, and a long, hard look needs to be put in the direction of Passotti there. I don't know what he's thinking. He knows there's nobody where he's passed the ball to because he's not there. Abagai's had to come all the way over from left back to try and cover his mess. Can't get there. And now Peresato's picked up an injury and it continues to get worse. We've got Nathan Curry on the bench. We've got Sam Gillespie on the bench. I mean, assistant manager suggesting Curry. To me, it seems obvious that Gillespie's the one who comes on. Although I guess if we're chasing a game, Curry is a little bit more attacking than Gillespie is. We'll go with the assistant manager. We'll favour Nathan Curry. Perhaps we need his leadership in a situation like this. Cue yet another Nathan Curry red card. Oh dear. Right, we've demanded more now. It would be nice if we could show a little bit of something. Villalobos has had a poor debut. He's going to come off. I'm not going to bring Hodgkinson on up front because I'm going to bring him on in midfield. We are going to stick Lukinas on up front. And we're going to bring Hodgkinson on for Alibasek in midfield. And we're going to say 20 minutes to go, boys. Can we do some footballing, please? Curry to Fazekas from the throw. And now Nathan Curry trying to get something going on this right-hand side. Oliveira, ball over the top to Lukinas, who's in behind here. Lukinas, one-on-one with the keeper, forces what I hope is going to be a corner. It does become a corner. With 20 minutes to go, this would be a nice way to start forcing our way back into this game. It's going to be Richardson to take, looking to do that out-swinger towards Fazekas, who couldn't quite get there, and Abagai, who, of course, is playing left-back, so he'll stay back. But then, to be honest, he's quite short anyway, so it's not a big deal. Abagai's staying back at corners. I don't think that's something we need to remedy necessarily. Gillespie has come all the way over from right. Hold on. That's not Gillespie. I was going to say, why the hell is Gillespie there? That's Gregory or Gregoire. It's the first we've seen of him as well. The two debut boys haven't really done anything. Abagai's in here. My word, Enoch Abagai. He was never a centre-back, boys and girls. He was a thunderous inverted wing-back. We know he's a natural libero. This might be the closest he can get in a Kev team to that position. He can kind of drift around where he wants. And he's cut inside like an inside forward. And that is a lovely finish from Abagai. And with 15 minutes to go, we are back in with a shout of rescuing something from this game. I'd love to see Gregoire be the guy who steps up and says, yeah, I'm here. You spent 40 million on me. I'm here. Look at me do a goal. They're trying to get in behind Curry here, though, which is probably quite a sensible route of attack. Passotti making up for his earlier mistake to some extent with some good play here. And now Passotti's the one leading the charge for the counter-attack. Kieran Hodgkinson's flying forward, as is Lukinas. It's into Hodgkinson, and Hodgkinson's there with the equaliser in the 85th minute. Excellent work from Passotti. Good work from Lukinas as well. And Hodgkinson is there to slot it home. It's home 3, Spurs 3. There's still 5 minutes left in this game. Can we do a ridiculous turnaround and somehow grab a win on this first day of the season? XG says we deserve it. We're absolutely happy to take a point and run based on how the shape of the game has actually gone. The new boys have been very quiet, but the oldest of the old boys has stepped up with an equaliser when we really, really needed it. 3-3 on the first day of the season. That'll do. We'll take that. Right, just the one change for the Everton game then. Peresato not fully fit to play after picking up a knock in the last game. So Gillespie's going to come into the side for him rather than Curry, who we brought in the last game. Green is fit enough to return to the bench. And we're trying Abagai in the middle and Fazekas out at left back. I know Abagai scored a screamer, but I mean, if you look at these two guys, natural, accomplished. And look at him, natural, accomplished. Theoretically, they can both do both. So I need to see them both play there so I can work out who's going to be doing it longer term. If we, in fact, did that? See, that's interesting. That says his. Oh no, I thought that was telling me his best role in certain roles. That's what I wanted to tell me. Where can he play best? He's taller. We'll figure it out. We'll try him this way round. It will become clear soon enough what the right way around to play those two is. I still suspect Parasato at left back is what I'm going to do longer term. And then we'll let the three centre-backs fight it out amongst themselves, which I think is likely to be Anderson plus one of the other two in there. I think Anderson is probably going to be my main starting centre-back this year because he's a little bit different. Fazekas and Abagai are very, very similar. We've seen for 2 years they've not been able to form a partnership. They both want to play as a libero or something fancy like that, a ball-playing defender, whereas Anderson is a little bit more in the Sir Harrison Davies mould, just there to defend. And you need a brute and a fancy player. You need your Ferdinand and Vidic partnership. So, yeah, I think it'll be fine. And then at the moment, one of them's playing at left back. It'll be fine. Right, Gregoire playing it forward to Villalobos. Perhaps a little bit less pressure because we're away from home. Perhaps the new boys will look a little bit more with it. Villalobos crossing. It falls to Gregoire. And there you go. A goal and an assist. It's not quite the way round you would expect it to be. But Roland Gregoire does have his first goal for home. He got there before Villalobos, but Villalobos with the assist. And it's some very good football all round here. I'm surprised it's gone down as an assist because it's come off the Everton defender and Gregoire doesn't even get there without the defender scuffing his clearance. But get there he does. The assist counts. They're both off the mark when it comes to goal contributions, which is awesome. And now Gillespie is charging forward. Gregoire's got it again, plays it back to Fazekas, who has the inverted wing-back, has come flying infield. Richardson with a cross and Oliveira coming in off the right-hand side, grabs his first of the season. Our second inside the first 10 minutes. This is a little bit more like it. This is what we were hoping for from this home side this year. And maybe the answer is having Fazekas cutting into that area there. I quite like this with Gillespie on the right-hand side, actually, thinking about this. I wonder if we should take Gillespie off of wing-back. Because at the moment, Gillespie's a wing-back attack. If Fazekas or Abagai or Parasato, whoever it is going to end up almost playing alongside Passotti as a second holding midfielder, we kind of want Gillespie to stay back as a fullback and almost make it a back three when that happens. I'm trying to get my brain to tell me what to do to make it work the way I want it to work. But I kind of want Gregoire getting up into these areas the way he did, Ali Basic getting up into those areas, and then almost have Fazekas and Passotti as the midfield. And then a back three when we're attacking. When we're defending, I want my left back to be a left back. Right, Abagai. Let's have a look to see what he can do from the middle. He plays it forward to Oliveira. Oliveira out to Gillespie, who has come forward on the overlap. So I want to see what our defensive shape is looking like with this. I suggest is that Fazekas getting right in there on the edge of the D. That is potentially going to leave gaps in behind here. I know Gregoire is going to come out wide because he's playing as a Mazzala. Richardson's going to stay wide because he's playing as a winger, but not really going to track back. There's a lot of pressure on Anderson to be there covering the floating fullback that we've got in the shape of Fazekas today. But here is Fazekas playing at left back. Richardson playing it forward, looking for Villalobos, and he takes the ball down nicely, and he's using his pace here to get in and forces the save, forces the corner, and it's going to be another opportunity for us to grab a third just before half-time. It's Richardson with the corner, looking for Anderson, lurking at that near post, but he can't make contact with it. That's the thing we do still miss without Harrison Davies. Even Anderson, he's not the size of Davies, and that is some lovely defensive midfield work from Passotti, who I know I criticised him a little bit in the last game for his one mistake, but by and large, Passotti really is growing into this defensive midfield role. The new Dunga, remember, when he arrived, he's still not quite Dunga-like, but he's getting there. And he's only 19. He doesn't have to be as good as Dunga just yet. Right, Everton trying to grab themselves a goal back before half-time. This turns things on its head a little bit from the script I was hoping for. I was sat here looking at a 3-0 before half-time. It's actually going to be a 2-1. This is not acceptable. Everton are going to go in feeling like they've started to get a little bit of momentum swing back their way. Right, all eyes on Fazekas. How's his positioning here? I mean, he's playing as a left back there. I don't think we need to blame him being an inverted wing back on that goal at all. He's not out of position. He's fine. Right, 2-1 up. Keep doing what you're doing. Abagai is having a very good game at centre back. Fazekas is playing well at left back. Maybe this is the way around they're supposed to be after all, which surprises me because I would have thought it would have been the other way, which is why we did that one first. Right, Villalobos has got space to run into again here and gets the shot away, but it's held comfortably by the Everton goalkeeper. And he just needs one to bounce in off of his backside, the good old football cliche. I'm convinced when he grabs it, when he gets his first goal, he's going to go on a run of goals. But the longer it goes on where he's not scoring, the more I'm going to worry that we've got ourselves a dud somehow. Right, we are going to take off Ali Basic again. Hodgkinson can come on for him. Who else have we got? I'd quite like to have a look at Diego Perez, who we've brought into play on the right wing. But Oliveira's having a very good game out there, although he is tiring. I think we will bring Perez on for Oliveira, just really so that I can have a look at him. That's why he's coming on. I'm not going to drop. I was going to do some encouragement, but we're 2-1 up, encouraging at 2-1 up. I'd feel patronised if I was one of these boys. Right, 10 minutes to go. Final change. How are we doing for fitness levels? Richardson is tiring. We've got Ola Richards. Easy peasy substitution to do there. Richards can come on for 10 minutes to see if he can grab himself one of those cutting in at the far post headers from a Perez cross. That's what we're looking for from Ola Richards. Right, it is Everton on the attack. 88 minutes on the clock. This is going to be upsetting. It very nearly was upsetting. That has whistled past the base of that post, and we've got away with one a little bit there. We've dominated the game. We don't deserve for it to have felt that high pressured at the end, but luckily we have come away with a win. 4 points from our first 2 games. We absolutely take it, and now Villalobos is injured for a couple of weeks. Please don't let him be a failure. I'll be really, really sad. Right, we will be back on Sunday, as usual, with probably something around here somewhere. We'll do half a dozen games or so like we usually do at the start of the season. Come back in when we've got a couple of interesting matches, and hopefully by then Villalobos will be a superstar. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you do get, I've had my COVID jab today. You do a thumbs up, but know that I'm not going to. That really hurt. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. God, blimey. Fully vaccinated though. And thank you very much for watching. My arm needs to lie down.